Hello and welcome. Oh shit. Tonight is a good one. Welcome to One by One. This is Michael. This is episode number 44, and I don't even fucking believe, but I do because it just happened, who I just talked to for like an hour and a half. It's pretty insane. I never thought that, doing this podcast, I'd be doing this and talking to like people that have influenced me more than I can even explain. And I tried not to fanboy out and explain exactly how much I love them. But it was an absolute honor and a privilege, and I want to thank Brett Stuhler for just being a cool dude and fucking hooking me up with this guy. He went to Brett's body shop opening last week, and said he wanted to be on the podcast, and fucking A, it happened. It happened at midnight on the Monday of the week after. It was just really cool, and I'm just in shock still and excited, but I'm sure I'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? Scratchy the chin. So yeah, this week I have one of my favorite drummers in the fucking world on my little podcast. So, yeah, I just want to thank Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan for fucking pushing me to fucking do this, even though they didn't really do it personally, but I eventually met them through it, and now I talk to them on a regular basis and stuff, and whatever. This is just incredible. So thank you guys, and thank everybody that listens to this. It's really fucking cool that I get to do this, and I just like it. I just like it a lot. So that first song you heard was his favorite, one of his. I asked him his 2 favorite songs to play live so I can use them as intros and outros. That first one was called Face to Face. The last one you hear is called Thank You, the song that they were fucking nominated for a Grammy back in 2006 for. Best metal performance, you motherfuckers. But they're coming out with a new record in May, and it is pretty much done. They just are putting their ducks in a row so they can shoot them over with a gray gun. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I can't wait to hear it. He spilled the new album's name, which I'll just let you find out if you listen to the podcast. I'm not gonna give it away on him that easily. And I can't wait to fucking hear it. I might actually do some sort of podcast with him and the band on their tour, which I don't even care if I mean, I do care. I really seriously care if I get to go, but if I don't, it's all good. I got to fucking talk to my favorite drummer for an hour and a half, and now I can pretty much, die happy. Without further ado, I would like to welcome to One by One the powerful. Because if you haven't seen him live, you ain't powerful. I don't know. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning here in New Jersey, so I'm kind of a little delirious. The sleepy ha-has, as some people call it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Morgan Rose of Sevendust.
What's going down?
Yo, man, what's going on?
Oh my god, dude.
How the fuck are you, dude?
I am fucking in the middle of fucking nowhere, Illinois, in a hotel that probably has 3 people staying at it. It's like fucking the movie Vacancy all over again.
It's like Motel .6.
Every time that I fucking jerk off in here, I know that there's a fucking weird dude staring at the fucking through, looking at me through the fucking peephole.
Yeah, he's probably behind the fucking shower curtain.
Uh, I've looked at, believe me, trust me, I'm so fucking paranoid. I look through the shower curtain. The first thing I do is jam at least one finger up my ass so he knows, oh, damn, that dude's into some weird shit.
What's like the weather out there right now?
Oh, Armageddon, like the last day on Earth.
Really?
Oh,
Like, what would that be for you? Because to me, I'm thinking like fucking like hot as hell. Is that hot there?
Oh, hell no. No, it's like probably 10 degrees out,
Oh shit.
bone chilling when you walk out of the room.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Right now it's like it was like up to 50 almost today here in Jersey. I was
Oh my,
enjoying the shit out of that, man.
yeah, that's perfect. I
And
like 50, 60. That's like, I don't like the hot. I don't like the, like, kill you cold.
exactly. I like that same temperature in the house too, you know? Like I don't need to wear a fucking blanket on the couch, but if I
Right.
feel I need to, I'll put one on.
I'll take the cold, though. I'll deal with the cold as opposed to the heat. And that's, I live in Atlanta.
It's hotter down there than Jersey, I'm sure.
Oh, God, it gets like the worst.
Dude,
But,
I went to Florida like a couple years ago with my girlfriend for like a week, and I was fucking not digging the heat.
6.5 days too long. It's like my dad lives down there. I lived down there as well when I was growing up. On and off back from New Jersey and or I'm sorry, Georgia and Florida. The old I can't handle him. I'll send you to your dad. He goes, I can't handle him. Send me back to the mom deal. It was back and forth every year, and it was like, I mean, it was equally terrible, but there was something about the Florida, like, killer heat where even when I was young enough to where, you can stand 190 degrees out with, a jacket on, it was still like, when I go back there now, it's like, I always tell everybody, I'm like, I can handle the cold because I can put enough clothes on to deal with that.
Yeah, can't take your
It's one,
skin off, dude.
yeah, I'm buck fucking naked, with cold rags on me, looking like, I'd fuck I'd fuck me guy in Silence of the Lambs.
Put the lotion on the skin, bitch.
Hose.
Were you in Florida when you lived there?
I lived in St. Pete for a while, and I lived in Tampa, and then
Oh, okay.
we did Animosity actually in Orlando. So I spent a lot of time down in Florida actually. But,
That's cool, man. I lived there for like 4 years, in like from like '89 to '94, but it was in like Fort Lauderdale area.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I was young, I couldn't fucking like. My parents at that time wouldn't let me fucking leave the curb, with my bike.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't really do shit, but you know.
There's some fucking crazy trailer park folks down there that will do some weird shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, there's some up here, man.
Oh God. Yeah, I was born in Jersey.
Uh,
I was actually born in Jersey.
really?
Yeah, I was born in Middlesex Hospital. I spent first few years of my life in Jersey. I went to Moss Elementary School, so I at least got old enough to where I would go to like a real school. Took my first ass beating by this fucking girl.
A chick?
Yeah, chick beat my ass at Moss Elementary School.
Hey, sometimes you're deserving of it. What did you do?
I don't know. I don't think I did much, but I mean, definitely took my first true ass beating from a girl at Moss Elementary School in New Jersey. I wish I would have known her name. I'd just fucking torch her ass off I would pull all that social media bullshit and I'd be like, go find this girl and hate on her.
Dude, troll on her, man. You don't even know, man. People get fucking nuts with social media and the especially with with the politics and shit these days, man.
You know, it's like I miss the old days of if somebody wanted to fuck with you, they'd have to find a way to get your phone number.
Yeah, or find you.
Yeah. You know, and that's the other thing, you know, it's like when when we started, this is how brutal it is. When we started, this is how fucking old this band is. We started and a guy gave a bad review of the band in our hometown. Oh. And so we were on a radio station and I said, you know, we're going to find him and we're going to fucking smack him around. It's like, I mean, how ridiculous is that to think that, you know, oh, I got a bad review from this dude, so I'm going to get upset about it. Now it's like, you know, there's a billion people out there and all they can do is sit there and tell everybody that they know, whether they have 10 followers or 10,000, you know, they can just tear you apart.
Yeah, so. It's really weird how comfortable people feel just like talking shit, especially I'm on Twitter and Instagram mostly, like for the most part, like more than Facebook and all that other like Snapchat and all that bullshit. But
yeah, I don't MySpace that much.
Yeah, MySpace it up, man.
I miss MySpace. I remember hating on MySpace. Now I'm like, just bring back just MySpace.
I know, right? Just MySpace. You can have your like little page with the fucking video, like music video sitting right there.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty cool.
All this shit that I've been talking and we're actually recording right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord, help me.
I mean, I don't have to put it in there. We can start over if you want.
Let's just exclude the finger in the ass comment.
Alright, I'll just like blur it, like bleep it out. Just the word ass.
Oh my god.
Nah. But I don't know, man. It's fucking pretty cool, this fucking podcast shit, dude. You listen to a lot of them at all, like as you're touring or in between recording and shit?
You know, it's like it's definitely becoming a monster. You know, like this is definitely like the way now. And I've been a dinosaur in everything I do. Like when I talked to you the other day, and I was like, you know, my buddy Nick, who runs Drummers Resources, like, yeah, you know, we should set you up and do a podcast. And I'm like, oh god, dude, I'd be like third or fourth most hated dude.
He wanted you to like host it?
Yeah.
I think it would be cool, man.
I mean, it would be like I could be a liability for my family, you know.
Hey, that's how it is, dude. It's fucking
I mean, if you have a microphone and a way to just put your thoughts out there for everybody, I mean, that's dangerous for me.
Yeah, I guess so. Especially when there's any kind of like alcohol involved or anything like that.
Yeah. But you know, it's so weird. It's like once you start getting it, like I told you, I was like, dude, I'd be straight politics and religion, man. I'd just kill me, you know. You can't please, you know, I mean, it's going to be 50-50 minimum. So, you know, there's so many bands that stay away from politics and religion and all that stuff. And, you know, it's like, you know, we for sure have our, you know, our views of both those topics. And within the band, they're not always the same.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like...
I wouldn't expect them to be. You guys are like, you know, a bunch of different dudes.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, it's like we're so close and we're as blood as it gets without, you know, actually being that you would think that we would influence each other enough to where we would just kind of agree on some of that stuff, but we have plenty of debates, you know, on the bus, and that's a fucking enough, you know. I look at that, Jesus Christ, you know, this is fucking enough on here, You know, if it's already weird on here, could you imagine fucking going out there and talking some shit and letting people know what you're really thinking? They're like, so what do you think about Trump? It's like, okay, you know, here we go. This is where I lose 50% of my fucking following. You know?
Well, you got to think about it too. Like, you might lose some people that don't agree with you, but you might actually like gain half or more of them people back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Once they
Yeah.
find out what you're about and shit, because it's and you know it's really hard because it's like a fucking, you know, holidays. You're supposed to not talk about that kind of shit at the dinner table or whatever. Like, because I even in my own family, dude, I have people that are like,
Mine too, for sure. You
yeah,
know, but the thing is that it's like, this is the thing about the music world that totally freaks me out is that I am the most regular dude that there is. Like, I don't, there's absolutely nothing about what I do for a living that, I mean, I look at the people that come and support us and I'm like, you're a better person than me. You know, you're better than I am. And I consider myself a pretty decent human being, you know, but I look at it, I'm like, don't look up to me, you know, don't, just because there's some songs, you know, that somebody likes, like, it's still, I remember when I was a kid, I was the one that was sitting at the backstage door waiting for somebody to come out. I met all the bands. I was totally starstruck over it. So it's funny that I look at it and I'm like, this is crazy, you know, that somebody really wants to stand out in the cold waiting for me to come out to take a picture or something. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you know, I did this when I was younger, but I never gave a shit what their, like, you know, I didn't pay attention to what their religious, you know, background was or what, you know, whether they're a Republican or a Democrat or any of that. I didn't give a shit about any of that. It was the music. That's it. That's all you're here for, you
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you start crucifying people that are, whether they're actors or, I mean, if somebody wants to voice their opinion real hard and get out there and push the buttons, then, you know, they're asking for it. You know, that's what they want to do. That, and I'm not even saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, you know, be prepared.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to go out there and throw that stuff out there. I was put here to play some music, try to be the best dad I can, and be a decent human being. And my, you know, my beliefs and my backings are my personal business, you know, and that's, I just don't understand why that stuff is so a big deal with musicians. I mean, I know it's, you know, just entertainment and, you know, in general.
I don't know. I think that like a lot of it stems from like, you know, the hippie movement and all the fucking, you know, protest songs back then, and like the punk movement after that, and like a lot, you know, like, I don't know. Just as a fan, and like I know you help write lyrics and shit for Sevendust and stuff, right? Like,
Sure.
a lot of the, like, I pay attention to that kind of shit, and like, you know, even though you're fucking back there screaming fucking to your Madonna microphone,
Yeah, that fucking thing.
you know, I still appreciate, like, you know, the words of the songs. Like, I could still remember fucking buying your actual like CDs, you know, when people would buy those, and you had,
Yeah.
you know, the lyrics in them and shit.
Yeah.
But like, I always, that's one thing that I always like really dug about like the bands that I was into, was like their lyrics and like what they could possibly mean, because you motherfuckers disguise your lyrics sometimes. You can, it could be interpreted as like, you know,
Sure. I mean,
it's a relationship or it's about a fucking war, you know.
I mean, this record, the new record is, you know, actually, and ironically, it's entitled "All I See Is War," which I don't think I've actually told anybody that.
Really, that's fucking
Yeah.
sweet.
But you know, the thing is that I remember I was talking to somebody. I'll leave them unnamed, but I mean, somebody big in the music world, and I was like, you know, it's crazy, man. I mean, you know, we get all these people that come up and they talk about how, you know, your lyrics helped me or they saved me or they got me through these tough times. And, you know, most, if not all of what we write about is personal experience, you know, so it's therapeutic for us to write them.
Yeah.
And therapeutic to know that we're not alone when somebody can relate. But we have changed words around to make them more universal and more vague because whether it's I don't want to be too dramatic and say that we don't want to show too much vulnerability because that's definitely not the case. It's just that you can't write about the same stuff too many times, and we've done it plenty, you know, but it is just what we're dealing with. So, you know, it's not a woe is me kind of thing. It's kind of tough, you know, when you write heavy music or, you know, minor major, semi-sad music.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really write about who let the dogs out. Woo, woo.
Exactly. I mean, you could, but...
I mean, I've said it many times, if I were to walk in, I mean, that song was kind of big. You know, if I would have walked in the room with, man, I think I got these words, man. And it goes like, who let the dogs out? And then somebody else would go, woo, woo, woo. You know, I would get, you know, beat the shit out of, and then I'd be out of the bed. You know, but I mean, that's just, you know, we take a lot of pride in those words. And, you know, we continue to do it. And after a billion records and being 100 years old, you know, it starts to get a little tough. You know, it's like, shit, man, here goes another, you know, another situation, and it's reminding me of the same one that I went through a few years ago. So here come the words, and they remind me of the same fucking words that I wrote a few years ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what's on our mind. We tapped into a few different things on this record, you know, to try to get a little clever and do things that might not be so universal, but they were close to us. And so it'll be interesting, you know. It'll be really interesting to see how everybody takes the record in general, you know. I mean, it's definitely a little more straightforward and different than what we've done recently, so.
Well, that's cool, man. I really did that kind of shit, you know, because... And I understand what you're saying with the repeating, having to repeat the same kind of shit that's going on in your songs. You have to, like, change the words up, you know. And I think that's cool, too, you know. It's kind of like System of a Down. You can only, like, you know, sing about the Armenian genocide in so many songs, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I envy some of those bands, you know, whether it be Rage or System, you know, I mean, they get their point across and they do what they want to do, and they do it on their terms, and they will not sacrifice, you know. It's like, I mean, I'm fans of both of them.
Yeah, man. Prophets of Rage now. Do you hear that shit?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, totally.
Dude,
I mean, those human beings in the same room performing, it's like, you just know, you know. I mean, once you see the lineup, you're like, I don't even have to hear a song. I know what this is going to be. It's just going to be crucial.
Fuck,
you know,
yeah.
Monster.
Oh yeah, Be Real too. He's getting to be some sort of a podcast kind of mogul kind of thing going on with his Be Real TV and shit. And
yeah,
did you see that? He's got that smoke box little show.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Joey Diaz was on there finally after a while.
Hilarious, man.
Dude,
he might be my favorite. You sent me that stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is probably my favorite human being.
Oh, Joey?
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, that's what I thought, like, the first time I seen him. And it was actually, do you ever listen to or hear of Alex Jones?
No, I don't know.
I mentioned him. He's got one of those, you know, conspiracy kind of podcasts, too. And now he's, like, totally far, like, it's not healthy to listen to it. I had my girlfriend, like, tell me at one point, like, can you stop fucking listening to the Alex Jones show? Because you're driving me crazy. You're thinking the world's gonna fucking end. That the Illuminati's coming to get us and shit. But
I'm crazy. too, man. That would be he's perfect for me.
Yeah, dude. You gotta look him up. He was actually on Joe Rogan. He was on episode 911. They made it so he could be on there. But
I love it.
The first time I saw Joey, I guess it might have been on that clip, but I don't know if you watched the whole entire thing. But he was on Alex Jones with Joe Rogan, and he was going off, dude. You have to watch it. He was talking about fucking hiding weed under his balls when he was going through the airport, security and shit.
I love it.
It's ridiculous, man. How is do you smoke too or no?
I don't smoke.
No?
No. You know, we reached our quota, and
What, with weed?
with, you know, everything.
Yeah, dude. I have to tell you, Dan. I the one of the first times that I saw you guys in Philly, back in like '99 when I was telling you before.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but there was a dude walking around outside after the show, right? And he was like, "I'm the limo driver. Does anybody have weed for the band?"
Oh my God.
I was like,
I don't know why we would have a limo there, but there's absolutely no question that if somebody else had a limo there, we'd ask them, do you know where to get anything? I mean, I remember crew guys. I remember us telling the crew that, you know, we'd pick a guy out of the crew and say, okay, he's not going to load out tonight because we need to go send him to the bad part of town to go find the shit.
Aww.
We would just, and we had walkie-talkies. We'd have dudes that would be like 2 or 3 blocks down the road, you know, looking for shit. You know, while we're sitting there with a walkie-talkie going, how's it looking, man? How's it looking? Any shady people out there? You know, it's like...
Dude, it's fucking crazy, man. I'm so glad that it's like, hopefully in Jersey it's going to be legal soon because we got that new governor. But, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that.
So, yeah, I'm waiting. It's still within his first 100 days, so I'm still waiting.
I actually only heard about that because somebody was talking about, I was with Brett, and I went to do the tattoo thing at his new shop.
Yeah, shout out to Brett, man. He's fucking cool as shit, dude.
Ever. And he was like, you know, man, Atlantic City, you know, they were trying to legalize weed and sports betting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, of course, you know, drugs and gambling. You know, we got to put those two together, you know, on the ballot and see if we're going to pass those. So they didn't pass them, I guess. And it's so weird to me, you know, like I don't fully understand it. You know, maybe I'm, you know, ignorant, but I'm like, so what you're telling me is that I can go into this casino and I can drop $1,000 minimum losing at blackjack to this fucking jack-off, you know, that's flipping the cards. But there's absolutely no way that you're going to legalize me being able to go up to a little booth and say, I'll put $100 on the Giants to win today.
Yeah.
You know, like, gambling is gambling. You know, I don't see what is, you know, I mean, especially when, I don't know, I just don't get it.
No, it don't fucking make sense, dude. None of it does.
And even though I smoke weed, I totally don't understand. I mean, I'm in the minority. You know, there's like, everybody I know smokes weed just about, you know, and so I'm like, they're gonna smoke weed, so why don't you just legalize it? Because everybody I know is smoking weed.
Yeah.
But
it's ridiculous how hard. It's not even that it's that hard to get, you know, but it's just a fucking hassle nowadays.
Yeah, you know, it's like, but it's cool, you know. It's so easy it's easier for my neck, my back, and all of a sudden, you know, I got a bottle full of oxys. You know, I'm gonna crush those up and rip those out. You know, it's just like, I just don't get it, man. The whole deal with weed is totally strange to me.
Yeah, they just need to get it off of Schedule 1 or wherever the fuck it's on.
That's probably, I mean, I'll probably end up getting some fucking hate mail for saying, "Hey, I'm pro weed activist," even though I don't smoke weed. It's like, "Oh, you're fucking, you know, you got kids, you know, you fucking piece of shit." And I'm like,
No. Well, you might get that from the people that
probably smoking weed right now too. You know, my 10-year-old is probably fucking ripping a spliff right now.
Let's hope not.
I do hope not. Oh God.
So do you play guitar too, right? Like you don't just play drums, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, most of the time when I'm doing any kind of writing when it comes to guitar stuff, it's more verbal. You know, I'll sit there with Clint or with John or something, and I'll just kind of sing parts to play, or I'll grab a guitar and single note, you know,
Yeah.
counter stuff. I mean, those guys are the riff guys. You know, other than me sitting down and saying, "Why don't we do this right here?" You know, down, 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 you know, and like I'll play something and mouth a note, you know, to groove on. Other than that, you know, those guys just they've surpassed. You know, the only thing I'm good for when it comes to that these days is, you know, hey, we need a, you know, a heavy groove section or something. More can go and play a beat, you know, and I'll go sit down and do it. But the counter stuff is really what I get excited about. I love major minor stuff, so whatever they're playing, I'm going to try to get them to write something that is going to stick the knife right in the heart. You know, it's like that. And, you know, the funny thing is that I don't even know if that's cool anymore. You know, it's gotten to the point where it's not that I don't care. It's just that that's what I like to do. That's what makes my ears feel good. You know, we're not the first to do that for sure, but
you're the fucking best, dude. That's one of the reasons why I fucking like started listening to you guys in the first fucking place.
well, I mean, you know, I don't know what it was other than, you know, yeah, I knew that, or I didn't even really realize it, but I was informed that we had a black singer, you know, and I was like, oh shit, you know, I didn't really pay attention to the fact that he was black. You know, he was just awesome, and I remember it was one of the first interviews we ever did. Somebody was like, "What's it like having a black singer in a predominantly white, you know, rock world?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm like shit, you know, I didn't even realize that he was black. You know, I didn't put the band together and say, you know what we need this really cool cut up, kick ass singing dude, and he's got to be black. You know, like it just didn't fucking matter to me. You know, I never even thought about it twice." So, you know, other than that, though, when I realized, I'm like, oh, yeah, there is something a little bit different than us, I guess. You know, we have a different, you know, makeup in our band, but we're all mutts. You know, everybody in the band has got a different background. And, but I thought that the musical thing with us was we really wanted to be, I mean, the ultimate goal was to be Fishbone meets Pantera. You know, without like saying, hey, let's put a band together and be Fishbone meets Pantera. That was like kind of the idea. You know, we wanted that groove and we wanted that soul, but we wanted to be brutal musically.
Yeah.
And so everything was mimed. You know, it was like anything that John or Clint did, you know, everything had to be kick drum follows the guitar part. You know, that was the groove.
Yeah.
And so we wrote off of that, and that was just the way that we started. And you know, we for the most part we're still in that world. I wish that we had that mentality, you know, to simplify ourselves to be like that, because I hear a lot of bands that do that now, and I'm like, fuck, man, you know, we did that a long time ago, and they're doing great with it. We just got bored with it, and everyone seems to like it. I'm like, shit, man. Like, we threw our fucking lottery ticket away,
Nah.
you know? But, I mean, it's still part of us, you know? It's still there. It just doesn't show up as, you know, as often as it used to. And, you know, I mean, like it happens in everything. I mean, we've stayed around long enough to where you know, our style is, I believe wholeheartedly that like hard rock music is, as much as people want to say it's dead, I mean, it's not dead and it never dies. You know, it just kind of, it's either popular music, heavy is popular, or, you know, it's not. And it really doesn't make that much of a difference. You know, I mean, it might slow down some of the signings, but ultimately it just doesn't go away, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and then it comes back and then it's big and then it's, you know, on the cover of Rolling Stone and they're saying, when the fuck is this going to go away again? And it lasts for, you know, its chunk of years and then it goes away and they put some other weird fucking band on the cover of that magazine that no one in the world has heard of.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, I'm to the point now where in my career where I really don't give a flat fuck whether Rolling Stone gets, you know, bothered by what I have to say about them. But I mean, I probably would have gotten crucified for that comment 10 years ago, but right now it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, man.
But, you know, I mean, it's just, it's a weird thing, you know, hard rock music is just what it is. I mean, there's different subgenres involved in it where, I mean, there's so many bands that I haven't heard of or that I just get introduced to. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this band. And all of a sudden I look and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they got like 200 million people that are following them and I've never heard of them.
I know. I do that all the time, dude. I feel like I
Dude,
fell off.
total different day and age from where, you know, I came from. I mean, it was so primitive back then and so basic, you know, there was only a handful of avenues you had to exploit yourself. And,
Now
you
you
know,
can,
now whole nother world.
and you guys just signed with Rise Records, but you
Yeah.
have your own thing going too, right?
No, we killed that. You know, to sign with Rise, we
Oh, no
finally
shit.
got rid of that, and that was, you know, that was a good thing. You know, we had a, you know, we had a good run with that, and it was it was fun. You know, to be able to have, you know, your own power to do whatever you wanted to do.
How long did
But
you do that for? How many records?
oh my God, man, we did it for a long time. I mean,
Wow.
we did. One, two, three, four, at least five, maybe six.
Damn.
You know, probably half our catalog. You know, I mean, this is the funny part about it is that we were signed to TVT Records, and we only signed there because we had no idea. I mean, we thought it was like Bubblegum Shrimp Records, which, you know, I mean, as much as I really want to hate on them, they had some amazing people that worked there. The president of the company, who I felt like, you know, he was the first one to make me realize that, motherfucker, you're going to get manipulated.
Yeah.
But he was great to me. I felt like, you know, no, man, that's my guy. Like, he cares about me. You know, he could have given flat fuck about me. But he was, you know, we were kids, you know, we didn't know what we were doing, but they did spend the money. You know, they spent the money like a major label. If we would have been with a major label when we got signed by them, we would have been dropped within 6 months. And, you know, I don't know what I'd be doing now, but we definitely would not be talking. And, you know, so they spent the money. They put the tour support out there. I mean, I was just telling the story to one of the bands that I'm working with. I'm working with this band, Allborn, here in Illinois, that are just amazing. I mean, they're like, I look at them, I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're kids, man. When I was your age, I was still trying to figure out Smoke on the Water, you know, and they're just ripping shit.
I know, man. Young kids these days are
Little.
crazy.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. You know, under 21, can't drink, but I'll murder your ass on the drums.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
now I want to get them drunk and say, now let's do it, you know, but it's like, but I mean, I was sitting there telling them the story. I was like, you know, I mean, we played New York City proper. Like, we played Manhattan 13 times on that first record. And it was crazy because the first time we played Coney Island High, and it was probably like maybe 50 people there, and they were all industry people. Like, our label basically called their friends from, you know, whether it be promotion companies or booking agents or whatever, and they just called their friends. They might have paid them to come out there to see us. And so we did that, and then so the first show, 50 people, Coney Island High, and about 20 months later, off the same record with the same songs, doing the same set, we're headlining Hammerstein, selling it out.
That's fucking nuts.
I mean, that happened, and it was like, it was so seamless, like we never really even saw the immediate change of opening up or doing our little headline show in front of 50 people and then going and doing another one, and there was 300 people there, and then there was like 500, and then maybe 700 or 800, and then 1,000. It was so gradual. It was almost like, am I getting bigger? Like going to the gym, like, am I getting bigger? I feel like I'm getting bigger. I've been at the gym, every fucking day for the last 8 months because I'm a fucking tool bag, But it's like, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's like, I don't know. I don't see any difference when really you've gained like 30 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it was with us starting. So there was never any ego. There was never none of that. It just happened. But that label supported us to be able to get us to a point where, we were a self-contained unit at that point. And, but it was weird. We go from that, and then we realized, you sell like almost 5 million records, and you made like no fucking money off of those records.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, something's fucked up here. And, but we're still scratching our heads going, I don't know what it is. And then somehow or another, you look at the numbers and you're like, okay, so you're pocketing a minimum of like, I don't know, maybe $7 every record, which means that's like 35 million fucking dollars. And somehow or another, we owe like $1 million.
What the fuck?
Okay, so where the fuck did the 36 million go? You're trying to figure out how that worked out. And then,
like, part of the contract and like real small writing.
Yeah, it's like the little small one that says, I hope that your ass is fucking loose because it's gonna go in. I mean, we're not, again, in the minority on that. Tons of bands have been through this, but we did get out, and then we signed with another label that was like this upstart label out of New York, and it was really about the money. They were offering a pile of money, and the money was, it was astronomical.
Yeah.
And the label that we went to was like nowhere even close. And so we signed the deal, and we got about a tiny bit of the money, and then they imploded immediately.
Damn.
So, like, Jesus Christ, we go from one indie that, we sold millions of records for and never actually saw any money out of the records. Then we go to this company, and, they give us some money up front, and then they just die. So then we did our own deal. We're like, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. And I don't want to be, like, it wasn't a ton of work. I mean, it really wasn't that different. It's not like we really ran our own record label. We had our own imprint to where we could do our own shit, and they would distribute it. And, that was that.
Yeah.
And, and we had access to some great people, that were really big in the industry to be able to handle our radio stuff and our promotional stuff. And so, basically we were under the Warner Brothers, umbrella. So we had access to all those people. And, it was good. It was good. We made our money. We were able to finally get paid. I mean, if you sold 1,000 records, you saw some money, as opposed to 5 million and not seeing a nickel.
Yeah,
so
nuts.
it was nice to, say, oh shit, I'm actually getting paid something off these records. But, bottom line was that we couldn't police that. We were busy either touring or writing or drinking or, doing domesticated shit, whatever it was like, listen, I'm not a record company president. I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
And, so when we were out of that contract, it was like, now what do we want to do? You know, I mean, do we want to retire? You know, we're definitely going to do one more. You know, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. I mean, that's the plan, you know, is that we're going to say we owe it to everybody and to ourselves to be able to say goodbye. I mean, we've become so close with these people because we're not the normal band. You know, we're so close to the people that for us to say, you know, in a press release, that would be like, wait a minute, you know, like these are people that I mean, we know these people, every single city in the world that we go to, we know people.
Yeah.
And we don't just know them, you know, we're close to these people. So it's like, you know, when we say goodbye, it's going to be extra emotional. It'll be very, very deep, you know, because the 20-year-olds that used to come and see us are 40 and their fucking 20-year-olds are at the show.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like we've grown up together. And Lejean says, you know, this is a family reunion every time we go somewhere. And it's the truth, you know, it's like we know these people. So that'll be a really heavy thing, man. That'll be like, you know, the more I think about it as I'm saying it, you know, that's going to be a pretty deep thing, you know, when we finally do call it. And we will call it, you know, there's going to be, and it will be sooner than later. Yeah. Because I'm not going to be, you know, the fucking Crypt Keeper up there with some stupid fucking haircut, you know, trying to find a way to fucking hold it down, you know, and have a bunch of people telling their kids, oh, you know, he's really trying, you know, but, oh, I remember when he could really throw it down, you know, I'm going out fucking, you know, I mean, I still got some meat left on this bone, you know, it ain't much, but I mean, I've got some, and I'm going to go out fucking doing it, you know.
Fuck yeah, man.
But I can't, that's going to be it, you know. I mean, we've agreed to that. We're like, the minute that we look at each other and go, man, this is a fucking bad version, you know, then we're out. You know, yeah. I looked at the video from the last tour. I was like, okay, you know, the kid's still got a little bit of meat left on the bone. You know, I'll give it one more rip. I mean, the last one could be weird. The last one could be, you know, like hobbling to the plate, you know, swinging with one arm. I mean, it could be like that, you know, but that's going to be it. You know, it's whatever. When we decide, it's starting to show, then that'll be that.
Yeah, but man. You guys have fucking held it down, though, dude. Seriously.
Thanks, man.
Every fucking time, and it's weird. It's not weird. You guys, I mean, I don't mean to fucking fanboy out, but like I'm gonna. You guys have been like one of my favorite bands since I started listening to music. You guys, Alice in Chains, fucking Nirvana, like that was like my era, and I kind of grew up. I mean, I really did grow up with you guys. You guys say that like your fans are really like family, and I feel that, dude. I really do. So
absolutely.
It's really cool to like even be talking to you right now. So thanks for fucking taking the time, man. It's fucking
absolutely, man.
But that's
love fucking soapbox every now and again.
But that's kind of the same thing that like I got drawn to with Joey Diaz, dude, and his podcast. It's called The Church of What's Happening Now, and that's what he says. Everybody is more like family members than fucking fans, man. He's a really down to earth motherfucker, dude. I think you guys.
I want to meet that dude so bad,
dude. You guys would get along like motherfuckers, man.
Where is he from? New Jersey or New York?
Yeah, he's from like Bergen, North Bergen, and his mom had like a bar in New York City or some shit. And
dude, you have to hook me up with that guy.
Dude, I totally will, man. If you guys next time you're in LA or something, that's where he does his podcast out of.
Be in LA on the 19th
of this month.
Yeah.
That's his birthday. He's he's doing a show. I think I'm not sure, but I would definitely fucking hook you guys up, man.
Yeah, that dude's fucking gem.
Hell yeah, he's given me so much, man, and he's the reason I started doing this shit, and I feel fucking privileged because I get to, you know, work with him, and I started that page for him, so like, you know, that's part of our deal is I can like promote kind of like what I do on there too, and it's getting nuts, dude. I might actually like. The same day that I talked to you last week, he called me and was like, yo, we might be doing a little something more with this Instagram stuff, because he hasn't really even touched it. You know, I've been like handling it the whole 2.5 years or whatever, and I might have to move the fuck out there and help him out. So
That's awesome.
yeah, dude. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It could be fucking the shit, or I don't know. We'll see. Cause we just had the baby. You know,
That's a big change, East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah, dude. But you know what? I've been thinking about it ever since I started this. Obviously, I've been wanting to like go out there and like be in that kind of scene. I've been doing the music forever, but I don't know. I just never followed through, and I never like had contacts that could get anywhere really. But
Sure.
I think this is a cool thing because I've been into comedy my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and I can't wait to fucking at least go out there for a little bit, check it out. But you guys are you going to only be out there that one day or what?
No, I'm there. Actually, I fly in the 18th, and I'm there until the 22nd.
Okay.
We're doing like 3 videos and some press and stuff.
Cool. Well, he usually does the podcast on like a Sunday or like a Tuesday, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll figure it out, and I'll hook you guys up.
On the 18th, I'll be there on Tuesday.
That might fucking work, dude. I'll message him as soon as I get off the phone with you, man.
That's so crazy,
real.
man.
But
that dude is a fucking monster.
Yeah. But dude, I don't know if you really want me to fucking come out on tour with you or not, but just even the thought of that.
Cool thing to do, man. I'm still like scratching my head at like, how come nobody's done this? Like, this seems like, I understand if people have, the basics of, running their Facebook Live or, Instagram and all that stuff, but just to be able to have that stuff, I don't know, with the podcast just blowing up like this, I'm like, how cool would that be?
What?
I don't even
know.
Put this shit out there because somebody's going to hear it and be like, yeah, man, that's a great idea.
Fuck yeah, dude. And especially like on tour with you guys. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing that would be different. Because I know the dude, the singer from fucking some bands. Shit.
Avery?
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
He's got a podcast.
He's had one forever, dude.
Yeah,
he's had
a long time.
Forever. But the thing is that it's like, to do video especially, is like, to set up video and do a video podcast on the road every single day, to me is just like, oh my God, man, what a way, set up a few cameras, every day at sound check, where you can get a few little rips of every show.
Yeah.
Have you run around, and video some of the meet and greets and stuff like that, and then get on the bus, and everybody gets to hear what the day was like and what the show was like. And they're always different. I mean, they're really always different. Somebody was talking the other day, they were like, how often do you have like the show? Like the show where you get off stage and go, motherfucker, tonight was the night. Like I nailed it tonight. And I'm like, I don't, like once every 3 weeks.
Damn. That's nice.
Like people, and the mood changes. And if you can be open and honest enough, you'll get to see some really interesting shit. It won't always be, it's hard not to semi-play for the camera, but at the end of the day, if it's there long enough and it becomes, part of the room, you start to get the real shit.
Yeah.
I actually, I like that part of reality, not reality TV, but I like the reality of seeing the vulnerability of letting people know, hey man, this is real. Like, this is the way it is. I was lecturing this band tonight that is definitely going to get a deal, and they're like unbelievably good. But at the same time, I told them, I was like, the music is like so not the only thing that builds longevity. I mean, there's so many bands that have so many great players in them and they've written great songs. I mean, even if you get the deal, which that in itself is tough,
Yeah.
When you finally do get it, then it's how many responsibilities do you have at the house? I'm realizing this now. You know, I was asked a million times, what advice do you have for young bands that are trying to, get to where you're at? And I'm like, I don't want to do that shit, man. I don't want to give anybody advice. We did it by luck. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to tell anybody? I don't know. Go play a shit bar and see if somebody's going to walk in looking for a strip club and go take a piss and see you playing in the bar and they go, oh shit, I want to sign them. Because that's basically what happened to us. It wasn't like we did a million showcases, and had a billion labels looking after us. We were playing at a bar and there was fucking nobody there. And the people were looking for a strip club and they had to piss. And they happened to be record label people, and they walked in to take a piss, and they saw us, and they went, "Oh, I like this band," and they took a cassette to age us, and
What?
they went, yeah, they went back to New York with the cassette. They didn't even go back and say, "Hey, we really want to sign this band." The person that got the cassette was just listening to it while they were working, and somebody else walked by and said, "Who the fuck is that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's this band, that we saw in Atlanta." I mean, it's total fucking fluke, dude.
Wow.
Total fluke.
Dude, I always wondered that kind of shit. Like, how you guys started, Like,
Dude, we got turned down by everybody. We shopped the shit to everybody. Our manager actually called me, on a fucking rotary phone and said, "Hey, we've sent the tapes out to everybody and everybody's passed. Nobody gives a fuck. Have a good life," basically. And I was like, great, And I mean, if you want to know the real story, that was the deal. It was the Gavin convention, and I lied to the band and told the band that, hey, man, there's going to be industry people here. And they weren't. There was no industry people there at all. There was fucking drunk people there, and they didn't like us anymore, And so we're up there playing. Nobody gives a shit. And people from TVT were on their way to another venue, and they had to piss. And they recognized the venue as a spot that they had actually been the night before. So they said, we'll go in there and we'll take a leak. And they went in there and we were playing, and they watched the rest of the show. And when it was over, I'll say her name because she is like the reason why we're here, but she's wonderful too. I haven't spoken to her in years, but Sudi Gashi was in the venue, and she came into this, we'll call it a dressing room. It looked like a fucking murder room. And she walked in there, avoided the syringes and the fucking blood, and was like wasted. I was like, I love you guys, I want to sign you guys to a record deal. And we had been turned down so many times, like, yeah, sounds good. And she wrote her number on a napkin. And I said, oh, thank you, I'll call you. And she turned around and I crumbled the shit up and threw it on the ground. So we were selling cassette tapes. She actually asked, do you have like 1,000, I think it was 100, maybe 100. She said, do you have like 100 CDs? And I'm like, we got like 50 cassettes down there that you can buy. But the guy that owned this club that we were playing at, we rehearsed there as well. So we did this demo and we manufactured these tapes, and he paid for them to get done. And in return, we would have to do, a show a month for a few months on the house. And also, he was able to put, if you can believe this shit, he was able to put on one side of the cassette his club name and phone number. So he advertised on our cassette.
What a jerk.
So she goes down there and buys a fucking cassette for $5 and brings the cassette back to New York. She's playing the cassette. Somebody hears it. It was Sean Roberts, actually, that heard it, I think. And he's like, who is this? And no, this band, they're really great. And I saw them. I gave them my number, but I haven't heard from them. And they look at the cassette, and, there's the name of the club. So I'm at my house, and I get a phone call from the owner of the club, and he's like, yeah, it looks like this label wants to sign you. And so I called him, and he told me who it was, and I was like, TVT Records. I'm like, I never heard of that shit. That's some fucking bunk ass, Bubba record company. I don't want nothing to do with that. Even if we didn't have a deal, I still didn't want anything to do with it,
Yeah.
So we knew this girl that was working for Atlantic at the time. And I went over to get Clint at her house, and she was like, we were sitting there, and I think Clint said something about it, and I was like, yeah, this fucking label, said that they wanted to sign us TVT Records, and she goes, what? I'm like, yeah, TVT Records. She goes, oh my God, like they're getting big. I'm like, who the fuck is TVT? And she goes, Nine Inch Nails was on TVT. I'm like, holy shit, like my favorite band in the world almost, like at the time it was like my favorite band in the world. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? She goes, no, that's Nine Inch Nails label.
What?
And I was like, holy shit. So I called my manager, who had just fucking called me not that long ago, saying, nobody gives a fuck about you, go kill yourself. And, I was like, hey, TVT Records wants to sign us. Oh, let me give them a call real quick. It's
yeah.
like,
get my cut.
Yep. So, anyway, yeah, that's like how we got signed. They came down to Atlanta. We had just played that place and had 50 people there, and we begged everybody that had ever come to, to had seen us before that, were like, please just come to this show, please. And it was like a movie, like he would go out there and look, and he goes, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. And it was like an hour before showtime. And it's like a 1,200 seat place. And every 10 minutes he'd be like, oh, there's a few people in here, but the label's not here yet. So hopefully they'll show up. Hopefully people will show up. And it was crazy. It was like literally 20 minutes before we went on, it was like, they opened the doors for a Metallica show or something. It was like they just came in by the hundreds.
Right.
And so, here comes the label last minute, thank God, and the place is sold out. 50 people to 1,200 in a matter of weeks.
Wow.
And my dad had actually been in town. He's from Florida, and he was in town. And we spoke to the label for a second, and then they go, let's go get some food and drinks. We're like, okay, sounds good. So we jump in a van with them, and I'm sitting in the very back of the van with my dad. And it was a moment, it's like I'm sitting back there with my dad, and I hear the president talking to my manager, and I hear him say, okay, so we'll record the record at the end of the year, and, we'll try to get it out by summer. And I looked at my dad, and I said, I think I'm getting a record deal. Like, I think I'm getting a record deal, like, right now. And it went down, like, that night. And, then the dream/nightmare starts.
Dude, I can only imagine, like, going from, like, a kid, like, when did you learn how to play drums? Like, did you do that at a young age, too, or?
My dad was a guitar player that was too shy to like join any bands. It was so weird. Like he was offered by Leslie West to be in Mountain, and he didn't do it because he was too shy to like go up there and play. But dude, I got so many stories. Like Todd Rundgren used to come to the house, and one of the first Flying V's, if not the first Flying V ever manufactured, they gave to him the prototype, and he let my dad borrow it. And it used the headstock used to tilt back.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't, like if you dropped it on not the string side, but the back of it, it would fucking snap the headstock off. And sure as shit, I'm a baby and I'm running around and knock the fucking Flying V over and snap the fucking headstock off of the first Flying V probably ever made.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was like, I used to go and out with my mom, and them knew this band, the Raspberries, and the singer was this guy, Eric Carmen, who ended up having this big hit off of Dirty Dancing, Hungry Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I remember going there, and I remember this shit, I was probably 4 years old, but I remember, like, sitting on his drums as they're breaking them down, and here's this punk-ass 4-year-old asshole, like hitting these drums, now I sit there and I'm like, God, the drum tech had to be like, get this fucking piece of shit out of here already. You know, because I see what my guys are like. They're like, ain't nobody hitting these fucking drums, dude. I'm getting the fuck out of here. But so I was around the music. You know, my parents took me to Ohio, and I was a fucking infant, man. I mean, I don't even know if I could walk, but I loved David Bowie, and David Bowie was playing, and my parents were supposed to be on the guest list, and they weren't. And I mean, this shows you the difference in the day and age. They were like, you know, they saw a security guy outside, and they're like, you know, we can't get in, but he just loves David Bowie. Will you just take him in to hear a little bit? And they just fucking handed me over to some fucking stranger, you know. And he like carried me, you know, like put me in his arms and carried me in there to watch some David Bowie, you know, when I was like 4 years old. So I was in it, you know, and my dad bought me a drum set when I was like 4 years old. And the story goes that he was teaching me If Six Was Nine by Hendrix when I was 4 years old, and separating the limbs, you know, being able to open up the hi-hat and shut it, you know, like,
yeah.
He taught me that intro when I was 4 years old. So I was interested, you know, I was into it, but I was really more into like putting the drums together and breaking them down and then putting them back together, which ironically, I don't even know how to set a fucking drum set up now. But
I wouldn't want to fucking have the task of setting your drum set up.
Fuck no, dude.
Fucking jerk.
I mean, even where to fucking start with that damn jungle gym, you know? But I mean, that was like, I was more interested in that. So when I got bored with setting it up and breaking it down, I retired. You know, so I was like a professional drummer in my mind at 4 years old and retired at 5. And, but I was always into music, you know? And, so I think when I was like 16, maybe 15 or 16, my dad bought me another kit.
Yeah.
And so I started to get into it then. And then, you know, I knew some guys that were doing like cover songs playing. There was no playing venues or bars or anything. I was 18, 19 years old. And so I would play like house parties. You know, we would do that stuff. And these guys that were actually playing the circuit in Atlanta when I was 21, maybe 20, they had heard about, you know, this kid that played drums that was really, you know, to them, they had heard I was good. And I was terrible. But they had heard that I was good. And so they came to see me play this house party. And they offered me the job. And they weren't like a big band in town, you know, but they were dedicated, you know, and they were playing the clubs, you know, so that was like my intro to be able to play the clubs. And so I played with them for about a year, and then that band broke up, and I put together another band that lasted a few years. And then, long story short, I broke that band up. I had gotten Vinny into a version of that band. And when we broke that band up, I just said, you know what, Vinny, I'm so fucking miserable. Like, I'm not having any fun playing with the people that we're playing with. I'm just going to, like, put together a band with people that are cool. They don't have to be the best. I mean, everybody looks for, like, putting together, like, the best guitar player, the best drummer, the best singer. They want to put together this, like, the best in their hometown, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, and that is the one piece of advice that I always gave people. I was like, dude, if you're putting together dudes off talent and not off of, you know, their humanity, it's destined to fail. Because you're going to deal with some asshole that's going to be a tyrant to deal with. And if you get lucky enough, you know, to get on the road and do it, you're going to implode. You know, you're going to hate each other. And
yeah, that's good advice.
That's the main reason why bands that don't last, that die early, it's really because of that. I mean, with us, you know, I put the band together. The only guy that was put into the band really off of talent without knowing exactly what he was made up of is one of my closest people in the world, and that's Clint. You know, he was the last ingredient. We put the band together without Clint, and then we got rid of a guy to get Clint. And he was the only one that was brought in, like, you know what, we've built this thing that we feel is special, but we never really cared that much about a record deal. You know, we had been turned down with other bands, and, you know, once you deal with that type of breakdown, you know, so many times, it's like, I just want to enjoy it. I'm never going to get it. You know, I've been turned down enough that, you know, I'm not really that concerned about getting a record deal anymore, because it's almost like winning the lottery. You know, at that, it was like, why get excited about buying this fucking ticket when I lose every week? I just want to at least, you know, get a fucking, you know, give me a fucking gobstopper or a fucking piece of gum with this fucking lottery ticket. Let me at least enjoy the ticket, you know?
Yeah, or win another ticket like I do with the fucking...
Like, exactly. And
win for life.
I go putting together a band with dudes that, you know, I mean, I get LaJean, who is really at the time more of a R&B kind of guy, and his guitar player in that band, because I knew I couldn't get him without him, and he was more of a jazz guy. And then I get John, who is really a drummer, who, you know, when I met him, he's writing songs, and the fucking guy doesn't even own a guitar strap. And, you know, I'm going from this band that had all these sledgehammer guys in it, but we didn't get along with some of them, to this band that really was just a hodgepodge of really cool people that we would get done rehearsing and we would go to the bar and have a beer, you know, and hang out and talk and laugh. And that was chemistry. You know, the chemistry was build the band with people that you love, and, you know, or put the band together with people you love, and you'll build chemistry. And that's what happened, you know. And then we got Clint after, you know, maybe about a year, and he just fit in perfect. You know, it was like, yeah, he's like us, you know, this is our guy. And I had known him for a while. It wasn't like I just saw him and I was like, yep, that's the guy. I waited for him to be vulnerable, and then I manipulated the shit out of him, you know, and lied to him and told him how, you know, every label on earth was looking at us, when really, yeah, they were looking and they were passing. But, you know, that was the idea. You know, put together the band full of a bunch of dudes that you want to hang out with. And that was our chemistry. Dude, we were a gang.
Yeah. And every time another thing, every time I saw you guys live, I always noticed, you know, I'm one of those fucking musician dudes that's like standing in the front of the crowd, like just enjoying the fuck out of the show and the music and just taking it in. I'm not like one of those guys that's like running around pushing people and shit.
Right.
But like, you guys always look like you're like having fun, like smiling at each other, fucking playing jokes and shit, with like throwing the sticks up in the air and stuff at each other and shit. You know, that's just awesome.
When you play those songs enough, you know, it's like, I got something to have some fun back here, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that like we'll get ready to go on, and there is like, I mean, it's got to be 70. 70 is like a low number % of the time that somebody, if not multiple people, are like, oh, God, man, like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to pull this shit off. You know, like, either I'm hungover, or I'm sick, or I'm tired, or I'm sore, or my fucking bones are broken. Like, everything sucks. And you're getting ready to go, and the lights go off, and you hear that noise, and it's like, oh, I'm back. You know, and it just happens, you know. It's really weird. It's like, that's the comfort zone, you know. We get that hour and 20 to hour and a half of being up there, and Clint actually preaches it more than anybody. He's like, you know, because Clint doesn't drink, Clint doesn't smoke, Clint has given up all the stuff, you know, that we do, and you know, so he's really on an island by himself. You know, it's not that, you know, he's got a bunch of fucking maniacs, you know, out there, but still, you know, I mean, you've got 4 guys in the band that on any day, you know, somebody will drink or, you know, smoke weed or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's alone on that. So he really, really looks forward to that hour and a half. Like, he takes care of himself. He works really hard, you know, to to keep himself together.
And in shape too. You guys
Oh,
fucking move around like motherfuckers still.
I mean, when it's time to go, he's like, motherfucker, I've been waiting all day. And we're looking at each other going, oh, Jesus Christ, dude, like, I'm fucking dying. You know, like, I'd pay money to fucking get a rain out right now. But you get up there and it's like, oh, yeah, this is it. Like, this is what I like to do. So it never fails, you know. I mean, occasionally there'll be nights when, you know, any human being is just, you know, not ready. You know, you're sick or you're, you know, whatever it might be. You know, it could be anything, but most of the time, you know, the lights go out and, you know, you transform into, I got an hour and a half of fun. And then you get done and it's like, here I am back to sitting in a tube. You know, so you sit in the tube all day long and then you get an hour and a half to get let out. And you get out and you do your thing and you're like, yeah, this is it. And then you're done. And then you got the rest of the night to sit in the tube again. So.
It's got to be fucking weird, man. I always imagine like what it would be like to go on a tour and shit, but you guys,
you'll know,
been doing it forever, dude.
Well, you'll know. I mean, I'm gonna work on getting you out there because it's like, I think that it needs to really be, like, we're very open about it. You know, we're really, believe me, we are beyond blessed and incredibly grateful and thankful to be able to call this like the job.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, like I said, you know, we're not rock stars. We don't like that shit. We're not into that type of megalomania. We're normal. So we call it a job because we have to get paid to be able to pay the bills. You know, I mean,
exactly.
It's like, it is a job, you know, as much as, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, this ain't no fucking job. You know, all I got to do is do drugs and drink and fuck around with girls and play music and have people yell. Like, that ain't a job. That's a fucking luxury, you know, and it is. But, you know, paying the fucking house note is part of the gig, you know, and, you know, and for college for your kids and food and making sure that the lights are on, you know, you got to get paid for it. So, yeah, it's a job. And I said this recently, but the boss are the people. You know, they're the fucking boss. Mm-hmm. You know, and once they say, we don't like the work that you're doing anymore, then you don't have a job anymore.
Exactly.
So we respect the people and we're grateful for the people. They're not fans. You know, we don't like to call them that. If for some reason, I don't know why, it feels degrading for me to say you're a fan of me. You know, like, you're my fan. You look up to me. You're a fan of me. I'm just a normal dude that plays, you know, I'm just a normal dude that plays music. And I am humbled that you would spend the money that you work your ass off to come and see me be a fucking jackass. You know, like, I'm grateful and humbled, you know, that the people have been so loyal to us. But I mean, that's what they are. You know, they are the boss.
Yeah, they kind of are the ones that pay the bills.
Absolutely. Every single thing that I'm wearing is a direct link to the people that support the band. You know, everything that I have in my life. You know, but at the same token, like I say, I'm normal. So if I'm an asshole by some stupid stretch one night when you meet me, it could be because my daughter is a fucking 18-year-old that's dating a 20-year-old and I'm having an issue with it.
Oh, shit.
You know, I mean, that's the kind of shit that nobody really looks at. They're like, you know, I'm like, listen, we're going to make this really fair, okay? We're equal, which means that if I'm in a bad mood because, you know, I don't know, the fucking IRS just called me today.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, just understand that I have the same problems, you know, it's the same shit.
Yeah, man. It's really cool to hear you say that too, because, like, I don't know, once in a while I get a little, like, starstruck whenever I meet somebody that's, like, been part of my life for so long, and you know, you just like actually fucking
Sure.
have a conversation with them. It's weird. It really is weird at first, but you know, you get over that shit, and you realize that you are just a fucking dude who is
Oh,
really fucking good at what he does, you know, and you deserve all that shit that you have from the band, you know, like you've given all the people more than you fucking know from just one of your songs, let alone on what is it going to be, 11 albums now?
yeah, it's fucking nuts. 11
Fuck, man.
full length, you know? It's like,
Plus all the
I
other
mean,
shit you do, you know?
it's crazy. I mean, like, my daughter is 18 years old, you know, and, you know, I look at it and I'm like, I missed it. You know, like, I really missed it. I missed her life, and I can't get it back. You know, I mean, I think about it all the time. You know, I'm very close to her, and but I mean, it's like cats in the cradle. You know, I get home and I'm like, hey, honey, you know, where do you want to go to dinner? Oh, you know, I'm dancing and I'm going over to Brady's house, and I'm like, fuck. You know, like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You know, you were just bouncing on my leg, you know, and now it's like there's no time for me. I told her one day, it might have been one of my brief, arrogant moments. I was like, you do know that your dad is without doubt the coolest fucking dad of any kid in that school, right? I mean, I see some of these parents and I'm like, God damn, dude looks like the fucking Crypt Keeper. And I'm like, shit, he's like 3 years younger than me.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Like, but I mean, I meet these people and I look at them like they're like they would be like a father figure to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, my mind is still built off of being, you know, 22 years old, where it's like, you know, Groundhog Day in my world. And just like, you know, the muscle man trying to see whether he's built any muscles, you know, it's like you stunt your growth, you know, whether you intellectually might grow. There's a mindset that comes with keeping you young when you're doing what we're doing, where it's like, I'm still the same dude from when we got signed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we haven't had enough time off for me to even notice, like, really getting older mentally.
I think it might have to do with just us being into music like we are, dude, because I didn't go through that, and I still feel like the same as you're saying. Like, I still feel like I'm fucking 22, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. You know, I mean,
I think music keeps us young in our hearts, in our minds.
I mean, absolutely, it could be. You know, I mean, it's just some of my behavior, you know, can be questionable, but you know, I mean, I definitely like on occasion will be like, I'm gonna fuck that dude up, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, he's like 24 and like goes to the fucking gym every day, and I'm like 94 and I haven't fucking lifted a weight in 80 years, you know, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna like pull back, you know, the youth, and I'm gonna drop this dude, when in reality I could barely lift my arms to fucking block a punch.
Exactly.
But we used to be crazy, you know. We used to, if anybody fucked with us, you know, we were aggro to that. We never started anything, but we were very, very defensive. You know, if you wanted to step on us, you know, we were ready to go. And that mentality is like kind of still there a little bit with me anyway. And I'm like, I tell you what, if he fucks with me, I'm gonna fuck him up. They're like, more, you know, just lay down. Where you fucking have a stroke. You know, you're getting too wound up.
Yeah. I try not to, dude. That's why I stick with the reefer. I don't know. Like, I never really drank too much throughout my career, if you call it that. But like,
Yeah.
shoosh. I'm definitely more of a fucking pothead than an alcoholic, I guess you could say.
That's good.
Which is cool, because that's, you know, if I ever do, like, I gotta keep saying if I ever, when I get out the West Coast, I'll be able to fucking get that shit, like, go to the store, you know. It's crazy, man.
right?
Can you imagine that shit? And just like you know, it
That shit's gonna be a pink dot before you know it.
for real. But dude, it it's really been an honor, dude. I can't believe I've been talking to fucking Morgan for fucking an hour and 20 minutes. Can
Uh, I've needed to rekindle some of those old things. You know, I mean, it's funny. You go through these stages where when you're first starting out, I remember the band like arguing. We used to argue with each other over why does he get all the interviews?
uh,
And then now, you know, there'll be like an interview list and it'll be like, you want to do it? You know, it's like everybody's passing it off.
dude, if I had this thing back in the day, like when you guys started, man, I'd want to fucking talk. I always want to like hear everyone's opinion in the band, dude. I hate how some magazines and shit just go for like the singer, the guitar player, you know.
Yeah, I
It's like,
don't
what
know
the
how I
fuck?
take of fighting myself into doing interviews, but you know, the funny thing is that we went through this long lull of where we just kind of turned interviews down or didn't or told our label or whoever was our publicist like we just don't want to do them. And it probably came from the once it got watered down really hard, it was like when people started to ask where'd you get the name from after, you know, 12 years of being a band. Like, oh shit, you know, we knew that was like that was the cue to, you know, our assistant, like, you know, you're going to wrap this one up quick.
Yeah.
It was just, and it wasn't in any way to be disrespectful. It was just like, you really don't care. Like, you know, I don't know, you didn't do any, or they would, you know, call you by the wrong name or call somebody else the wrong name or just not have any facts together at all.
Yeah, you got to do fucking research when you're talking to somebody, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I at
We went
least go
a
through
lot of,
people's Instagrams.
yeah. I mean, nowadays, shit, man. I mean, you can know what the fuck I had for lunch almost, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, we can easily find out the basics. And, but, you know, it's, as we've gotten older, it's like, we almost want to talk more, you know, at least me personally, you know, I want to rekindle some of that, you
Yeah,
know,
dude,
and
relive it, kind of. You know, like just tell stories about old fucking times. That's why I think a fucking podcast for you in general, but like for the band would be fucking incredible. You know, like there's no other band doing that shit right now, and I feel
yeah,
like you guys being who you are would fucking kill. Seriously, you guys are funny dudes. You're fucking hilarious. Clint, I know it's hilarious just from watching like YouTube videos and DVDs and shit. You would go fucking well with the comedy world, and
Clint,
comedians love music.
dude, Clint is definitely the funniest dude, and it's like he can turn it on, but you know, he's a comedian, no question, and me and him together is vicious,
Yeah.
you know, like, but I mean, it's also scary honest, you know. I think that people have kept us away from doing certain things because it can be, I wouldn't go as far to say foot and mouth, but close to it, where it's like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
I just said that, and then oh shit, I just said another thing, and before you know it, it's like, oh fuck it, let's just kill it.
Yeah, that's one thing that you would have to be aware of going into recording, because a lot of the shit, like maybe even how Rogan does the live to YouTube thing, you guys could do that too, So
Yeah,
you'd have to have some kind of
filter.
filter on that shit, but
Hard.
not even that much,
I mean, I did this thing like, we went to Iraq and Afghanistan and played for the troops over there. And I
That's
had a
awesome.
buddy of mine.
He had a buddy. We seem to have gotten disconnected. Are you there, dude?
That can see anything that I want to put out there. And all I did, and this is years ago, but all I did, I put out there and I say we just put a fucking bomb out there and drop the motherfucker already. And that's all I said. Just talking about, when you want to get in that fucking religious, political conversation, you better be ready. And I put that out there like, hey, my friend just lost, we just lost as, Americans, we just lost a handful of guys and I'm fucking over it. It's not fair. The war is not fair and their fighting tactics are not fair. And, so I was pissed and I put that out there and all of a sudden it's like, I wake up in the morning and it's like, boom, 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 like a fucking million people sending me tweets, you fucking piece of shit, you want to kill innocent people, fucking just absolutely deboning me, I am from Afghanistan and you're a piece of shit and all this. I'm like, oh, fuck, I was just like, I didn't really word it the right way, I guess. I didn't explain, my emotions, but I was just like over it. And that is the perfect example of, wow, on any given day, there could be a lot of people that are looking at what you're talking about. So be careful about what you put out there.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
I've had moments of whining too, I've had plenty of moments of like, oh God, this fucking bullshit, and then you get those, you lucky motherfucker, you get to make a living playing music. How dare you fucking bitch about your life right now? I'm like, hey dude, I just got fucking hit for $90,000 by the IRS today, and my daughter is fucking missing. I don't give a shit about fucking Face to Face and whatever the fuck other song you like. I'm talking about fucking 90 grand just got ripped out of the account and my daughter is fucking somewhere in fucking Tahiti.
with Brody or some shit, right?
with Brady or whatever the fuck his name is. I want to kill that fucking kid. I haven't even met him. I should be see right there. I just said that, right? All of a sudden it's like, did you or did you not threaten his life? It's like,
dude, you gotta fucking just go with the flow, because a lot of it has to do with context. With these podcasts, they're like fucking hours long. You get to talk to people and get the whole point of view that somebody's trying to say and shit. It's a tough game, but a lot of it, dude. Honestly, you gotta not pay attention to what people say back on social media.
Oh yeah, man.
It sucks,
No
but like Rogan, like he doesn't fucking look at his Instagram, like all the comments on his pictures and stuff. Sometimes there's thousands of comments, but what are you gonna do? You're really gonna sit there and fucking go through them all? And like,
I love them. Occasionally, I'll take a peek, and I don't really look at the stuff at all anymore. But occasionally, I'll take a peek, and there's guaranteed to be, one dude in there, thanks for the fucking reply, asshole. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with your asshole?
I'm like, here we go. There you go. Everybody thank him. I will not be looking at this for another fucking 4 weeks. Like, it's just, I actually was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I think I'm going to do, like, the personal page. I really don't. I mean, I look at it like this, and this is probably going to be semi-controversial and stupid, and people are probably going to fucking, judge me on this, but I just don't understand the look at me factor. I understand if you're promoting something, absolutely. If you're selling something, if you're promoting something, if you I absolutely understand if you want to share pictures of your kids, if that's your business and you want to do that, or hey, I'm on vacation, look at this. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's a personal thing. Yeah. So if it's a personal thing, why the fuck do you want Waleed Azeed or whatever the fuck his name from wherever he's from following you to look at your shit? what the fuck does that matter? You know, now if you're promoting something, you want everybody looking at it. You want to sell, you want to promote, you want all the attention that you can get to bring awareness to what you're trying to promote.
Yeah.
But I'm putting a picture up of me and my kid at Six Flags. The reality of it, I mean, and again, I'm probably not a good example of this because I am promoting something. I'm promoting, you know, I'm promoting me and I'm promoting my band and my business. But if you're just, you know, whoever, why does it matter? Like, why does the likes matter? Oh my God, I got fucking 60 likes on this. Holy shit. You know, I got likes from fucking 8 out of the 60, 45 of them have, you know, 6,000 followers and they have one picture up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know why? Because it's fucking bullshit.
It is. It's attention.
Real.
Addictive attention. Yeah.
I just don't fucking get it. It fucking bothers me so bad that I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to exclude my personal life completely from the public. And I'm just going to put SEVENDUST stuff up, promoting or, you know, producing stuff up, label stuff up. I'll put anything that I have to do with that is promotional stuff and I'll put it up. And then I'll do my private page that'll be like with me and my kids and my girl and my family, and I will accept the people that know who the fuck, you know, that I know, you know? I mean, it's like, I'll probably get fucking murdered for all this, you know, but to me, it's just, it's so fucking weird. It's like everybody wants to fucking be noticed so bad, you know? It's like, Jesus Christ, the vanity is out of fucking control. It's like, you know, to be that vain where it's like, you know, and the people that want to go and buy people to go and like their shit, I'm like, holy shit, man, you got way bigger fucking problems than you do with than this shit.
Dude, when I found out that you could buy followers and likes and like you can have a fucking bot machine that like likes other people's posts and comments on them. I wonder why I see all these fucking things like weird ass things like come here for sex or some shit. Like,
yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, you know, it's like, you know, you fucking crank out a little bit of fucking porn once, and before you fucking know it, you know, every fucking like on your shit is from some fucking chick that has 3 followers and follows one dude, but she's got her balls hanging out. And it's like, what the fuck is here? Like, who the fuck is this person that just liked my shit? Oh, that's Pornhub.
Yeah, that was it. Was Twitter is worse now than Instagram is, but they're both kind of suck with that shit. It's hard to tell like who's got the real followers, like who's somebody that's got like a shitload of followers that didn't pay for them.
Right. Yeah, it's just fucking weird to me, you know. Like I don't know.
That's what's cool as shit about Joey's page that I run, dude. Every day. I've never paid for any of those fucking followers, but every day there's like 1,000 or 2 more. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Every now and again, I'll tell you this, and this is just the fucking facts. Every now and again, I'll see like, oh shit, you know, there's a pile of people that just started following me, and I hadn't put anything up in fucking weeks. Why is that? And I'll go look. Half of them are fucking bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck are they following me for?
Yeah.
You know? And then I look to see who they're following, and I'm like, oh, there's 3 other people that I know in bands that they're following. 3. I'm like, what the fuck are you following us for? You know, you look at, they got one picture up there. I'm like, this is fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just, it's strange. I don't get it. I want out of the fucking game so bad. You know? I'm in, you know, it's like, there's no way to fucking get out. I mean, you get shit for it around here. You know, it's like, how come you haven't posted in a while? You know, we're promoting something here. I'm like, listen, get the fucking record together and I'll put that shit out there, you know? But it's like, the last picture I put up was of like me and Brian from Avenged, you know, and that was fucking a month ago, you know, and that's like, I mean, I'm surprised that I haven't gotten a call on it, you know, because...
You need to post more often.
Yeah, the reality of it is that, you know, we have a record that's getting ready to come out in May. You know, I'm supposed to be gearing this thing up, but I don't have anything to fucking put up there. What am I going to put up there? You know, my fucking nuts hanging out while I'm watching Snapped on fucking Oxygen. I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm fucking doing every night. You know, I mean, that's basically my life. You know, I go and I produce a band. I mean, I could put their stuff up there, but then I'd probably get shit for, well, you want to put their stuff up there. Why aren't you putting Seven Dust stuff? You know, you got a record coming out. It's like, so I just kind of try to ostrich that shit. You know, I stick my head in the sand real quick, and then when I get a smack on the ass, I'm like, oh yeah. Let me put a picture up of me in the airport bitching. You know, that'll suffice for now.
Well, hopefully you won't get harassed too much when I share this on mine and Joey's page.
No,
especially
dude,
on Instagram, because I share it on Instagram, but once in a while he'll like retweet when I share it on Twitter. But Instagram fucking nuts, dude.
I fucking love that guy,
dude. Go watch more of his shit, man. He's got actually if you got
down that tonight,
go ahead.
I mean, he doesn't give a shit. You know, that's what
a fuck. A flying fuck.
I'm like, oh my god, dude, like that's what I want. I want that world where the skin is so fucking thick, you know, where it's like, I don't give a flying fuck. You know, he's got it. You know, he's got what I want. He's my therapist. Like, I want that.
Dude, he does it. He goes on fucking Periscope and he'll smoke a bowl and like just talk shit and talk to you, motivate you and shit. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, dude, he's my fucking hero.
That's what I gotta go out there and do is like, you know, start doing more Instagram videos like for Instagram, because I just share shit from like YouTube and his Periscope and Twitter forum. That's all I do, and the posters that I make, the Photoshop shit. So it's it's pretty fucking ridiculous, man. It's fun.
You gotta hook me up with this guy.
I would totally will, dude. When's you said the new album is coming out in May.
Yeah.
But I only see a couple. I see a couple dates on there before May too. You doing a couple dates?
Yeah, we actually head out. Our first show is the 20th in Phoenix, and then we're out for.
Oh, my favorite day.
Like, yeah, yeah, mine too, right? Well, yours is different than mine. Is it? Wait a minute. What's tax day?
That's the 15th of April.
420 is a good day for you.
Fuck
415, not so fucking good.
No, that 415, well, it depends on who you are, but I could do my taxes and get a bunch of money back or not.
Oh, I haven't seen too much fucking money back lately.
Me either, dude. I think I still owe the state $200 from last year, actually.
Fucking damn bastards.
Yeah.
Telling you, dude. So, yeah, but we go out, I think the first date's the 20th, and then we're out for like 5 weeks. And then, I mean, I saw festival dates all the way into October. And then we have to do Europe. We got to do Australia, New Zealand, Asia, South America. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to be a long one. And I'm not fucking prepared for it at all. You know, basically all I've done is like, tried to be that guy in the fucking gym, but on the opposite. I've been trying to see how fucking big my stomach can get doing nothing. Doesn't look that much bigger, and then I get on the scale and I'm like, oh yeah, motherfucker, you're getting bigger.
Yeah.
Like the belly is fucking growing.
Dude, I'm sure that shit'll go away real quick once you guys start playing out. Yeah.
It should, you know, it usually goes pretty quick. I mean, I lose weight really fast out there, but I look like SpongeBob, you know, it's like everything up to small. Like belly and the fucking tits.
You got the square, you got the, what is it? We used to call my aunt fucking muffin top.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I mean, the worst part is that I go to Brett's place and I'm like, you know, yeah, man, let's do a tattoo. How about we do one on my chest, like right above my left tit? And I did it. What the fuck do I want to do that for? Now, any time that I have the shirt off, they're going to look right there and they're like, oh shit, motherfucker's dropping C's on me. I mean, I don't even know how to get rid of these things. I'm looking at them like, these are some decent tits.
Start squirting milk.
Oh my god, dude! I was like, I stretched out in front of the mirror the other night. I pulled a little vanity on myself, and I was like, let's go and see what these tits look like. How do I make them not look the way they look? And I broke my fucking arms behind my head trying to flatten my chest out. It's like I stretched out so hard, I was almost broke my shoulders, and I was like, they're still there.
Still got them.
Damn. These are real, natural.
Oh man, dude, thank you so much for talking for so long, dude. It's really fucking awesome, man.
Definitely, I had a great time, man.
Thanks, dude. Even if shit don't work out, it was still cool to think about fucking doing the podcast thing on.
Dude,
tour, but...
really after it. Like we got a bunch of shit that's going on right now, and I told my manager about it. He goes, "Yep." I mean, he's actually in New York right now. He was at Stern today.
No shit.
Yeah, because he manages Alter Bridge, so he's got Miles.
Oh, cool.
So Miles was up there doing Stern and a bunch of other stuff for his solo record. So he's like in the crunch right now, but he's like, I got it. Like we're gonna work on this thing. We're gonna see how. If it was up to me, I'd like to do it right out of the rip. While everybody's fresh and excited.
Yeah, true.
And because you catch us 4 or 5 months into this thing, and it could be like,
yeah, Yeah, I mean, it could be like a series kind of thing. It doesn't have to be like a podcast that comes out every week. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them are just like every week, the same days. Well, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want.
I like the daily. It gives us something to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll talk about it for sure. Awesome, and it'd be killer to get you out there for a little bit.
Hell yeah, man. I would definitely fucking move shit around to do it.
That's awesome, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with the rest of the album. Are you just mixing it down, or what's going on with that? What's
all
left
done.
to do?
The whole record's done. I got the album cover the other day. Just got to put together the thank yous, which is, I remember again, first record was like fucking 12 pages worth of thank yous. Now it's like, I don't know, you fucking know, click. Like it's like 3 fucking words, So I got to put that together though. And other than that, I mean, we're pretty much ready to go.
Dude, I can't wait to hear it, man.
It's interesting, It's like I don't know what to think of it, because this is the first record that we're not really telling anybody, what it's really about, like whether it's heavy or mellow or straight, or I mean, I did tell you, it's pretty much a straightforward record, but it's definitely different, than what we've done. So
that's cool, man. I like when bands like, evolve but not fucking too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I mean, anybody that I've let hear any of it, they're in it. They're like, oh yeah. So
sweet.
Hopefully everybody will be into it.
I'm sure
if
they
not,
fucking will, man.
It's a year, we'll do another one.
All right, brother. I will talk to you soon, hopefully, man.
You got it, bud. Much love, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, man.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, take care, brother.
Bye, bud.